Welcome and namaste, beloveds, to the holiest of holy encounters. Every encounter is a holy encounter with a brother. Yeah, I just felt helpful to mention that we're going to be changing the time for the morning sessions. Doesn't impact the night sessions, but since we are moving to the monastery on Friday, and we'll still have a 7 p.m. if the internet works. We don't know. We have no idea if we'll have function internet. But our intention is to stream out Friday night and Saturday morning as well at 8:30 a.m. So we're going to move over to 8:30 a.m. because it serves the monastery for the morning session. Yes, love, Annie.
Okay, will that be just like still 7 p.m. Central Time? It's not a different time zone.
Say again, Annie.
Will that be 7 p.m. Central Time still?
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
another time zone? Okay, great.
Yes,
Thanks.
it feels like that will continue, and we'll keep everyone posted. It's all so new with this new community. And it feels like only the morning sessions will shift just to support the community so we can start our day in the community with a light circle. And yes, and we still call you to join. And as I mentioned before, we will have you're considered part of us, really. We'll have a welcome open house on Saturday, a week from this Saturday. But we'll send out some information, everyone, and we'll try and stream that out too, so you can see it, and maybe give you a little tour if we can of the monastery. So thank you. So we come together and in the celebration of infinite light that's here, with the power that we have given by Jesus, to focus on the light and see everything as given by Jesus. All the denials. And he just keeps speaking about staying really present with that energetic desire, almost like it dissipates. We just stay with it, just be with it without identifying with it. Stay as the light. So maybe a thought, these emotions start to rise up, and just recognize there's a desire for it and admit it. And it passes really quickly, because we see very quickly it does not impact divine being, the light that's here. And this is the speed up. We were talking about pain, and he has quite a bit on pain. We did cover chapter 17. It feels valuable to go through it again, because we can start to see how this real deep look at desire for experience, how it creates the entire world, the entire dream of a world. Yeah, it like splits into two as it arises. It's the desire for the experience, and then wanting to have an experience of hating it to deny that it's desired. Oh, that's all the anger. And just really being present with that energy, and seeing that even then, even if we feel hatred or whatever is arising, it still can't change the light that we share, that we are. And that thought of joining, how abjectly powerful that one thought of joining is. That's actually forgiveness. It's beyond forgiveness, the thought of joining. Forgiveness is like having a big pencil eraser, and it just erases everything. Joining in mind like that, you can see that nothing ever happened. That's how powerful that one thought of joining in mind is. That one thought of light. That's how powerful it is. Wipes out everything. Whoop, gone. Because it points back to identity, true identity. It shows that these ideas are shadows. Though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, that death truly is a shadow when we look and see that we are light. So it feels good to just continue on that theme of pain. The pain, because it's such a powerful, seemingly, quote unquote, threat within consciousness to experience some kind of body experience. And we're so used to stretching it out on a timeline, and now we've asked for condensation to collapse time. So we can ask Jesus, we'll search our mind for a place where we believe in our mind there's actually pain. We'll search the body. The body can be used in a communication too, if it's used in purpose by spirit to see what's true. Is there any place of the slightest little tension or discomfort? Scan. It's searching our minds. We just ask Jesus, what's the desire underneath this tension, this pain? I'm willing to see it. And as the thoughts arise that seem to have a charge around them, we just look at them as the light of being. Does the light know this thought to be true? I could see that. I think I talked about it. I could see, and underneath that pain is a desire to have control, yet feel out of control simultaneously. And almost like turning that desire towards desire for God, that energy of pain. It's almost like folded back on itself. So it doesn't go out, it comes back in. And experiences here, you start to notice a release of that deep tension that's held, yawning. It's fabulous. And just stay with it. Like, okay. Is there anything else, Jesus, I need to see on this desire for pain? It just slowly melts back. Almost like it dissipates. So instead of having that little concentrated pinpoint, it just, you can follow it back to the source. What's the source? All the way. Just notice the pain and go, what's the source of this, all the way back? And as we follow it, we see it's only an attempt for an experience apart from ourselves. Does pain, in truth, we can ask ourselves this, is pain a sensation? Can a sensation prove that we're separate from God? And ask the light that, Jesus, can any sensation, any pain prove that I'm separate from you? And hear his voice speak clearly in our mind, the mind. Pain is simply the means by which you attempt to deny who you are. I'm willing to see the denial. It's like an insistence. Just kind of notice. It's like it's opportunity to get just really curious. Like, and look at pain or anything that's appearing in form in a way we never thought about it. That's what Jesus is offering. Like, we assumed that having pain proves that we're a body. That's like an assumption. We assume that pain is real. Jesus is saying, question everything. This feels really good to question this. Jesus, show me that I am willing to see that pain is not true. In the light of divine being that's here with my brother. And it absolutely cannot exist without my desire to experience it. It is a refusal to let go of body identity. Okay, Jesus, show me. Let's let him show that. Yes, I can feel it. Being really with that little, it's an itch. Here's that itch again. I feel it coming up. It's the itch for body identification, to have an experience of being identified with the body and prove it. I'm going to prove God's wrong because this pain is so bad. But that's really such a good question. That's the deconstruction of a body and identity. We admit that that's not true. Jesus, in this, whatever this little discomfort that's arising, this cold, this flu, this headache, this throwing up, what's the piece of identity I'm not wanting to give up? The itch to prove God wrong. The itch to prove that divine being is not powerful, and that which created the pain is not powerful enough to dispel it, to see through it, to forgive it. You would rather be in pain than rejoice in who you are. Jesus, is there any desire below my level of awareness to be in pain? rather than rejoice in who I am. It's almost like sitting with the itch. Feeling that itch for pain and just like fully, okay, I admit it. You're right, Jesus. I would rather be in pain than rejoice in who I am. It must be so if I'm not totally happy and rejoicing. You cannot be without pain until you see through your desire for it is valuable. Jesus, please show me in my mind how I really believe, if there are any beliefs, that pain has value. The belief that pain is comforting, actually. It's like, but I don't want pain. It's like Jesus would say, oh, yes, you do. If it's there, you want it. Yet this is the way out, the keys to the kingdom. Powerful, this looking with Jesus. We're here, it's everything. Jesus, where else do I value pain? Over everything. Value nothing over being everything. Pain is unnatural to you and does not appear without your desire to experience it. Show me my desire. Pain is unnatural to me, unto you. Pain is unnatural to you and does not appear without your desire. So there's a belief below it that pain is natural. Jesus, can you show me any belief below my level of awareness that pain is natural? Do I believe it's natural? And look at that one thought in the light of divine being. Is it natural in truth? Can pain be found? Pain is a memory that cannot be known in timelessness. It is a desire to experience a past. And that's time bound. Jesus, can you show me with something that's where there's a perception of pain, the desire to experience a past in it? Do I desire to experience a past in it? I'm willing to see it. I'm willing to see how pain holds, I'm holding myself hostage in time with pain. A desire to make the past real. It's an attempt to hold on to something that does not exist. It's an attempt to hold on to the dream. to extend the time of pretending that divinity is not already here. But we know that even with pain now, we're so well mind trained by Jesus from a course that we really can't walk his voice. Even in pain. Even I was throwing up, I still could hear his voice. If we want to, in the middle of throwing up, I could still just headache, like stay in that purpose. So helpful. Jesus, am I making a decision to inflict pain upon myself for what never happened? It's really beautiful because we've talked a bit around accountability. Accountability of God is different from accountability of spirit. Accountability of spirit is the honesty that we talked about a few nights ago. Honesty of God. Admitting divinity, admitting the denials to divinity. That's honesty of God. So we know that pain cannot block what's truly honest, what's always here, which is the light. And so encouraging for Jesus. He says, just keep looking. Keep exploring what's really happening or not happening. Explore the light. Be with the light. Rest. And see that the light's not involved at all. Hi, Gracie. See the dog. These are satsang dogs. They have to be where the satsang is. To come in and remind us of what how our true being celebrates with our tail wagging. Oh. So we know that we can no longer block the voice because it's our voice. We no longer want to. Who wants to engage in that traffic anymore? Like, no, thank you. It's like Muji would talk about it so beautifully, like you're in a train station and thoughts go by. The light just is here. Let the thought, don't get on the train. That's what he said. Don't get on the train. Don't buy the ticket. See who goes over. We're just like, who goes over that counter and who pays for a ticket for suffering and then gets on the train and follows the thoughts around like a puppy. Like we buy the ticket for suffering and then we get on the train and we're suffering. We go, what happened? Pretty funny. Today we'll look at the insanity of how you actually relish the experience of pain. That really has to be admitted. I can see it without admitting how it's really relished, like deep down there. Want it because no place to go. Then create an experience in which you do not recall that you relish the experience of it and be mad about it. I'm mad because this experience is happening, which I wanted to happen, so I could experience pain. That feels really cyclical. Like Jesus said, this is insane. And then create an experience in which you do not recall that you relish the experience of it and thus maintain a sense of what is not natural to you. Is pain natural to the light? So worthy. We're so worthy to look at that directly. When you admit this, you can also see how you can transcend the experience of it. That's why this deep looking is so precious. I see that. That look at desire. The desire not to forgive. Because God's already given the solution. It's a desire not to forgive. So that we can continue to experience pain and suffering. And they forgive immediately. Like, hold on to it. I'll do it tomorrow. We're going to have an expression session and a couple of, I was doing that. Like I was in community and I could see that little, now I see it, we don't necessarily see it in the beginning when we're first starting out mind training. And I was mad at something in community, that's what communities are for. So we can really get ticked off just to see how deep that denial is. Who wants to go to a place? Look, our whole intention here is to tick you off. Not really and purposefully, but it is purposeful because, right, all that different conditioning coming in and seeming to rub against each other. But I just remember like really being and just going, if this just doesn't resolve, I'm just going to go express this in the expression session. Well, like, what a delay. I guess we didn't see it till we see it. It's like forgiveness, because divinity is here and the light's here. It's like, it's the instantaneous. Or really, he continues to point like, drop the story, no story, light. You are light now. You can see that no forgiveness is necessary. Not as a spiritual bypass, because he's saying it's the honesty of the clarity of the light that we are looking directly at the idea that we have of ourselves to see it does not exist. Pain does not exist. Beliefs do not exist. When you admit this, you can also see how you can transcend the experience of pain. Oh, because we were talking about responsibility. Responsibility in the world of the ego is you are wrong, I'm wrong. I did something bad and now I have to be accountable for it. Accountability in the book of the Holy God is, I had a desire for an experience. And now I'm seeing that experience is not working out so well. I had a desire for experience or dream, and it's wearing out. And thus I take responsibility that I have sufficient divine power to play in consciousness within a dream. And I also have divine power to see through all of it, forgive it immediately, as though it never happened, because it didn't. That's the only accountability. So the world's accountability is you're accountable, you're going to be punished, you are guilty, you're this. God's accountability is just see it never happened. Like, get out of jail free card with Jesus. It's the only card worth having. I am the light bearer. You can transcend the experience of it. True power you have is granted by the Father that does not invest in the experience of pain, as it is all that is. And here's the statement we looked at a couple of days ago, but it's so worth it to look again. On the cross, I did not experience pain because I did not desire to experience it. A divine being has no desire to experience pain. Doesn't know what it is. Light. Does the light know what pain is? We keep going back, keep looking. In admitting full and acceptance of full unity with the Father, pain, impossible. In seeing all as the same, as the Father sees it all as the same. Yeah, Jesus was really talking to me today about the power of the sameness. I could see, like, to the thought-based consciousness, the egoic thought-based investment in a personal identity. Sameness sounds really like death. Sameness in the way of God is honesty, is pure, unmitigated happiness and sameness. This can't be seen from the perspective of an identity. Because thought-based identity is about differences and using differences to prove God is dead. And sameness is everlasting life, identity, happiness, joy is sameness. See that the light only sees sameness, infinite light. The true power you have is granted by the Father that does not invest in the experience of pain, as it is all that is. Can all that is know pain? See in your heart for that answer. In seeing all as the same as the Father sees it all as the same, love only, pain cannot coexist with perfect love. Desire expresses its rage, which hides itself in diversity of expressions within consciousness. Make no mistake that it is all the same. Denial of infinite love, infinite perfection. I see the power in seeing the sameness of every desire, the sameness of the slightest discomfort, and how really powerful that sameness is, so that it can't play so much in form anymore in different kind of scenarios and stories and however consciousness plays, dances with the devil. He's making it so simple and so direct. Amen. Thank you, beloveds, for joining us tonight. We send you all a really big hug of gratitude. Thank you, Mike. We love you. We'll get that after. SCH, that's it. Let's just marinate in infinite love tonight, in silence of being. Amen.